A fallen officer remembered.
I've never seen anyone like David.
Tonight, we're hearing from Officer David Lee's grieving family.
He loved everybody and he loved his job.
As charges are filed against the driver accused of causing his death.
We lost a really good officer, and this didn't have to happen.
Tonight, that driver sits in jail on several charges, including a DWI, causing the death of a law enforcement officer. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Those charges were filed less than 24 hours after Officer David Lee was killed while responding to a crash along I-70. We have team coverage tonight. Paula Vassan sat down with Officer Lee's wife and son, and Annie Krall talked with those standing by to support them. We start with Laura Barczewski with the latest on the investigation and the charges filed in the case. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy says these charges are the beginning of seeking justice for Officer David Lee, but nothing will ever bring him back. Just hours after St. Louis police officer David Lee was killed, black bunting was placed above the doors and attached to the flag at police headquarters where his brothers and sisters on the force are grieving.
Our community has lost a great police officer.
Officer Lee had pulled over on I-70 to help a woman in a single-car crash Sunday morning, and while he was getting traffic cones from his patrol car, he was hit by another car, pinned between two cars, and thrown several feet.
Since this horrible tragedy, we've been working with the Circuit Attorney's Office to ensure swift justice.
St. Louis police say the 24-year-old driver who hit Lee, Ramon Chavez-Rodriguez, is now facing several charges. He had a blood alcohol level that was above the legal limit at the time of the crash. He was going 71 miles per hour in a 55 and was driving without a license.
The person was probably coming from possibly O'Fallon, Illinois, and going back to where he resides in St. Charles County. So he's taking that highway back.
St. Louis Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore says Chavez-Rodriguez is not a citizen of the United States, but that part of the case is being handled by federal partners.
That's not relevant to our charges except for the purposes of considering whether or not he should be granted a bond. My understanding is that he did have a hearing on his immigration status that was set for later this month or later in October.
The immigration status hearing is connected to a different case where he was charged with another DWI and domestic assault in St. Charles County. Chief Tracy says while the wheels of justice are turning, they're devastated.
I don't think there can ever be a relief because we're never going to get Officer David Lee back. I don't think there can ever be any closure.
Chavez-Rodriguez could face up to 15 years in prison solely for that DWI charge, and court documents say today the judge did not allow him to bond out of jail. Reporting live downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
He is a hero. He's just amazing. Everybody loves him.
Today, for the first time, we heard from the family of Officer David Lee. His wife and son spoke with us from their home in Florissant. 5 on your side's Paula Vassan continues our team coverage after speaking with the family who are not only remembering his life, but also pushing for greater safety measures for officers in the line of duty.
David Lee started working as a police officer in North St. Louis City 18 years ago, around the same time he married Tanya.
I'm gonna miss him dearly because he was my yin to my yang. My best friend.
She brought us into the same living room where they talk for hours, clutching a stuffed teddy bear he gave her for Valentine's Day.
He was my one. He was my partner, my other half, one half of my heart.
His son Khalil shares memories of a father who loved his job, basketball, and guiding him through life.
He was somebody who I could talk to about anything. He's the reason why I chose to go to school for criminal justice and do what I'm doing now.
A man who put family first. Tanya recalls their last night together. They prayed as they always did, and he said something she'll never forget.
It was weird. He laid beside me in the bed and he put his hand on my thigh and he said, "Thank you for everything." And I said, "Oh, babe, thank you for everything." He said, "No, seriously, thank you for everything." And I didn't know this was my husband saying bye to me.
She also says her husband often talked about his concerns about the dangers of I-70, where he was killed Sunday morning by a driver charged with being under the influence of alcohol.
I feel like it's unacceptable and it could have been prevented. Someone such as MoDOT or another cruiser or patrol car should have several feet between stopping for an accident. Therefore, the young man possibly could have been slowed down early on before he got to my husband.
Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
And the family is being assisted by Backstoppers. It's an organization that provides financial support and assistance to the families of first responders who die in the line of duty.
Shortly after that interview, Officer Lee's family visited a growing memorial outside SLMPD's North Patrol headquarters. Our Annie Crawls spoke with a family friend and the widow of a retired St. Louis police officer who understands the pain they're feeling. Annie.
Mike, Officer David Lee was a Pattonville High School alum along with his younger sister, Danielle. Reliving those high school memories at his North Patrol Memorial tonight was one of the hardest parts for one mourner on Monday. Black bunting across the North Patrol Division, flowers and balloons covering a St. Louis Metro Police car on Union Boulevard. All of this as family and friends of Officer David Lee held space Monday night for the man they loved.
How cool he was and how he just had a smile of gold and how he just greeted everyone so great.
The balloons came courtesy of Sierra Douglas, the best friend of Officer Lee's sister, Danielle.
The outpour of support for my best friend, her mom, it's just amazing. For his kids, for his wife. I mean, he touched a lot of souls. He really did.
Douglas lives in Ferguson, telling us she's known the officer who was hit and killed in the line of duty on Sunday morning since she was 16.
He was just such a wonderful guy. Such a wonderful guy. He was her big brother, but he was also my big brother too.
A big brother for 25 years.
David loved being a cop. This is what he loved to do. He loved to do it, and I've heard him tell my best friend numerous times, like, if I have to go out, I want to go out in the line of duty doing what I love.
Someone who knows what it's like to lose a loved one and officer as they put their lives on the line is Ann Dorn. Her husband and retired St. Louis Police Captain David Dorn was shot and killed in June 2020.
He was my soulmate. He was my best friend. So I just want everybody to remember him and the smile that he had.
Dorn was shot and killed while protecting Lee's pawn and jewelry from looters during the unrest following George Floyd's death. 4 years later, Ann, a retired SLMPD sergeant, unpacks what the road ahead looks like.
Unfortunately, there's been other police widows I've talked to, and I do tell them, you will have physical pain over this. It will literally break your heart.
Ann said she will be reaching out to Lee's family to support them as they take more time to grieve. Friends tell me they hope to hold a candlelit vigil and a balloon release soon to also honor the fallen hero. The family says Officer Lee's funeral will be potentially October 5th in North St. Louis.
And to learn more about Officer Lee and the investigation, be sure to look for updates on air on ksdk.com and on the 5 on Your Side app. You can also watch the family's full interview on the 5+ streaming app.